It's not just, oh, well, this is how much I currently make, so we'll just maintain this thing. That's no.
Mm.
Please no. Please don't do that. Welcome to How to Retire on Time, a show that answers your retirement questions. My name is Mike Decker. I'm a licensed financial advisor and fiduciary. And joining me here and my co-host, Mr. David Franson. David, thanks for being here.
Yep, happy to be here.
As always, we're going to answer your questions. Text them to 913-363-1234. And remember, this is just a show, not financial advice. So make sure to do your research and follow up with whatever we talk about. David, let's dive in.
Hey, Mike, I'm having a hard time getting started with my retirement plan. Where should I start?
I appreciate these more existential questions than just, what is an IRA? What is a Roth?
Oh, yeah.
And the reason is it allows me to expose some of the hypocrisy within the financial services space. Okay. Recently had a conversation with an individual, very nice man. He's partially retired, still working part-time, mostly for fun, and he's trying to figure out what he wants his retirement to look like. He already has enough to retire, but he doesn't know how he wants his retirement to look like. So he doesn't have a plan.
Mm.
Is it appropriate to say, well, you should be in this investment or this product? Or, well, let's just solve your income today and here's how we're going to solve it. No, it's not. It is not at all appropriate to talk about investments or products until you know what you're solving. And so questions like this, I believe, really come from, I don't want to commit to an income plan, or I don't want to commit to a tax plan, or I don't want to commit to anything because I don't know exactly what the future is going to look like. I'm still trying to figure that out. And so when I think of these types of questions, my mind immediately goes to the fundamental retirement planning questions, which, by the way, for everyone listening right now, if you're driving, listening to this via podcast or you're in the car, make sure you go back to YouTube and you look up this episode and go down this checklist. This is your primary questions. David, have you heard of principle-based thinking or first principles?
I don't know that I have, no.
So it's very common with engineers, very common with very kind of structured positions, but you boil down a complicated situation to the most fundamental questions. Okay, so
Okay.
Tesla's an easy example because we all know what it is. It's an electric car. When Elon allegedly was thinking about how do you solve electric vehicles, how do you do all of this, it boiled down to they had a battery problem. They had to figure out how to make a better battery to then charge a car that would be able to do what the Tesla does today. It wasn't a car problem, it was a battery problem. That's kind of first principles thinking, okay? It's boiling it down to the most fundamental problem and then starting there.
Well, it's kind of like whenever you watch the post game after like a NFL game or NBA, whatever, and they're asking the coach, "Oh, what went wrong?" And they just say, "Oh, we just got to get back to the fundamentals," right?
Yeah,
That's like sort of a cliche.
what are the fundamentals here?
Yeah.
So, what's the purpose of retirement? Really? To live a certain lifestyle. Well, what's that lifestyle? Usually it's, well, I don't know. I continue to breathe and I receive an income of this amount because that's what I'm used to.
Hmm.
That's not a good answer.
Mm.
And too many times we don't know what we want in the future. We don't know how to solve this existential crisis, which retirement is an existential crisis for many people. There's a lot of retirees that when they retire become depressed because they don't know how to transition to retirement. Well, we're trying to create a course specifically on how to emotionally transition to retirement for this very reason. So the first question is, okay, let's just break down what's your cash flow? What are your expenses? Get those things in order. If you don't know how to do that, just download the last 3 months of your bank statements, your credit card statements, and figure out how much is spending on fun, how much are your basics, and then divide it up between discretionary and essential expenses, and just kind of break that down so you have an idea. Because if you have more time on your hands because you're not working, then you're probably going to spend more money. And you want to understand how much of your spending could be discretionary. It's actually common that people increase their spending in retirement. So you want to understand that. Then you need to start defining what would you do if you had more time. So common answers are, well, Maybe I'll teach the local Bible study class at my church. Maybe I want to do more fishing. I mean, maybe you want to do more golf, work on that golf game. But notice how a lot of these, well, I mean, the Bible study I think is a wonderful endeavor, but fishing, golf, sewing. I know a lot of people do a lot of quilting as well. I mean, all of these are intro spectrum, or they're selfish hobbies. I'm not saying it's selfish to go golfing, but it is all about you when you go golfing. And yeah,
Mhm.
there's a social element, or fishing. Yeah, there's a social element. It's fun, but fun is a great way to have a hollow life, to end up depressed.
Mm.
So then you have to ask yourself, okay, well, what's the purpose? What's going to get me out of bed? When you work, you've got a purpose. It's to do a certain job. It's to solve a problem. It's to support other people. It's to work with other people. You're working as a team to accomplish something. What is the problem you want to solve in retirement? Is it working with a charity? Is it working with a church? Is it working with your community? Um, is it supporting maybe your kids in a certain way that you're now the babysitter because they can't afford healthcare, or not healthcare, they can't afford childcare services or whatever it is.
Right.
Um, Maybe instead of it being more volunteer, maybe you start a hobby business. Love hobby businesses because there's still a reason to get up in the morning. You're still creating something. That's beautiful. Maybe, and this is extremely common with engineers, by the way, and I'm not picking on engineers, by the way. I love working with engineers because they're so detail oriented, but it's almost unanimous. When an engineer retires, they take art classes.
Huh.
They're
Really?
wanting you to learn. And that's like the polar opposite. They never got to experience what art really was. Some do, but a lot of engineers don't. So they want to explore the opposite of what it is. It's not selfish, but you're learning, you're exploring, you're trying to develop something new. These are conversations you need to start having to figure out what that is. Then you need to figure out, how do you shape the life? Are you going to move? Are you not going to move? Are you going to move maybe in 5 years? Do you need a new house in 5 years? Are you going to downsize? Are you not going to downsize? Do you need new cars? Then you start shaping the expenses of the life, the location, and the lifestyle and what that looks like. But it all needs to be primarily driven by the service and the development that you're aiming towards, so that you have a reason to get out of bed. It's not just, oh well, this is how much I currently make, so we'll just maintain this thing. That's no,
Mm.
please no, please don't do that. Um, and the reason why I say this is, slowing down and having a more methodical conversation can be very helpful. Too many times I have heard about people, or they end up coming to the office, and we're having these conversations, and they say, well, I've got a retirement plan. I say, well, what's your retirement plan? And they show me, and they say, well, we put a plan together, and they put assets into illiquid products. They're kind of set up on fixed income for the most part. Uh, and there's very little flexibility here. And they're saying, yeah, but we kind of want to move, but now we can't really afford it. We don't know how to free up the cash. If we freed up this cash right here, they put the cart before the horse. This is about lifestyle planning, and then you figure out the cash flow and income to support that lifestyle. And sometimes it actually would be better that we slowed down and figured out the emotional or lifestyle side of it before you solve the economic or financial side of things. And that is how you avoid product sales pitches.
Mm.
That is how you avoid oversimplified plans. That is how you can help avoid these situations to where you end up getting stuck. You want to maintain your freedom, you want to maintain your flexibility, but you got to know what you're solving first. And that's so important. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe first, and then go to www.retireontime.com to grab a copy of my book, How to Retire on Time, take a few courses about retirement, join my newsletter, and so much more. Now, if you want to work with one of our advisors here at Kedrick Wealth, who can help you put together a retirement plan that's designed to last longer than you, just click the button, Get Started. Everything we do is intended to help you retire on time. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the next show.